It's another time to discuss and look what is going on in our land, look at the lies, the truth, the activity, the circumstances, and to understand, get information, get understanding, broaden your mindset, recover from slumber, get yourself acquainted with knowledge, and then prepare yourself for truth. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said will take us to freedom. Truth, only truth. And we can see that people have decided to capitalize on the situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to defraud people, to steal from people, to take their resources, using strategic social approach where they come on social media, keep posting stuff because they know that they need to keep telling the people a particular thing over and over, and then the people will keep falling for it and then become their victim. The live broadcast today. This is 12 minutes past 5 p.m. BIAFRA time, and I know that in your location it varies depending on your location. So you can take my greetings whether morning, afternoon, evening, based on your location. And of course, today is the ninth day, Friday, the last working day of the week for some people. Some people work on Saturdays. Some people even work on Sundays. But today is Friday anyway, the fifth, day for regular working day. Days, and of course today is the ninth day, Friday. That's the ninth of February 2024. We are going very fast in this year. Now, I want to welcome you to this broadcast and to this narrative today. Yesterday, I was here and I gave you perspective to the things, especially I looked at the circumstances and the things happening, and then I opened your eyes to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, which gave more impetus because it brought fear and shaking to the fabric and the foundations of Nigeria, and it also threatened those who are internally with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, some of them who want the criminality to continue. How many of you know that there are people who just want the criminality to continue? What they do in IPOB, they run it like all the other family meetings, the family village meetings where you just task the people monthly, they pay a particular due, and so they keep collecting the monies, and all they do is organize programs where they would spend these monies. And then because they would make profits and make monies from it, when they expend, they tell you if they expend $50, they tell you they have expended $5,000. That is how most of them make their money. So when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu became very formidable, and when they saw that he was very serious based on overtime talk, they thought it was just business as usual. As soon as ESM was composed, they now saw that this is real, and because they didn't want to lose that regular income coming to them, they joined forces with the Nigeria contraption and sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And then, of course, um, one of the reasons why they saw that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for him to have established ESN, it would be very, very disastrous this time. When he talked about bringing in the military, when he's going to launch the military, they now saw that if he has launched ESN, then it is possible that he's planning launching the military. And what he has said, he will not renege on it. And so when they found out that he will not renege on it, based on the fact that he has proven to be to keep to his promise when he formed ESN, they now saw that they must sell him quick. They must betray him quick. And the Nigeria system contraption was shaken, everywhere was shaken. And that was how they doubled their efforts, tripled their efforts, in fact, to kidnap him and to kill him. But thank who preserved him, Chukwukike, who kept him, Chukwukike, who gave him life, Chukwukike, who healed his wounds. And in spite of the fact that some of these members of the DOS who were actually knowledgeable about the whole thing, and some of his family members kept quiet, never wanted them to say anything. They just wanted the news to come all out. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just missing in action for a while, and then they could now just unnaturally fall in place and begin to claim leadership and take over, knowing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is somewhere suffering. People like Kanu kept quiet after knowing all of this stuff. You heard when the secretary said that she actually told Kanunta, and Kanunta said she shouldn't tell anybody, she should just be quiet. That is, and I wonder why she too should be quiet if she's not an accomplice. You know, you can't be quiet when your boss is missing and somebody is telling you to be quiet. That means something is wrong somewhere if you're quiet. So, anyways, that's not a preaching for today, but I just have to give you this introduction and make you understand that the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, an extraordinary rendition, because they saw that if he has kept his promise to the establishment of ESN, he's going to the establishment of ESN or establishing ESN, he will also keep his promise to establishing the army. And he gave a promise that when he launches the army would take over the territory of Biafra immediately. There will be no jokes. It is not time to start moving from one corner of the bush to the other. No, it's not the program of ESN. ESN is meant to do that. Go around the bushes and preserve the people, preserve their farmland, preserve the things that have to do with them in their communities and protect them. But the army is going to just come and take over the borders of Biafra and secure the borders. That was the plan. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made it straight that the day he's going to launch the army, it is going to take over the borders immediately. It's not going to be a wishy-washy thing. And when they saw this, that he gave his promise about ESN and he has fulfilled it, and they saw the number of people he was able to bring together under ESN, they knew that coming to this point of what he is saying now, that the day he's going to launch the army, then he's very serious. And that was why they made sure that come rain, come shine, they were able to capture him dead or alive. And they used people inside, within, to do these things. We are suspicious of so many people who are involved, but we don't have evidences yet. That was why we were calling, or still calling, for a fact-finding committee, of which that is why I am indicting the present DOS members. Because any reasonable person who is a professional belonging to a professional organization like IPOB, the first thing you do is that you call for a fact-finding committee. You set it up because your leader is in trouble, and it is very, very expedient. You set up a system to find out why this happened. What was the security breach? What happened? That is what reasonable people do. Even in companies, I've said it several times, even in companies, when you have some issues about funds, even if it is in bank, even in the bank, if one kobo is missing, you must give account. There must be a report about that. They must find it. There must be a fact-finding process to get it, to get how that one kobo is missing. You can imagine, in spite of the whole money they have, one kobo is missing. They must find it. You can't. This is an insult. This is an insult, and that is why the world is not taking us seriously, because they feel that how can your leader be you're missing, your leader kidnapped, and you can't set a committee and you can't take this thing seriously. All you are busy doing is jumping from one social media platform and the other, telling, coming on Radio Biafra, talking nonsense, saying so many things. You don't want to do the needful. The needful is that a fact-finding committee must be set, and that is my grievance against the members of the DUS, not because I have anything personal against any of them. But if they had done this by now, I would have been an ardent supporter to make sure that together we work and bring about, carry out action that will bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. I would have supported them. I'm not here for leadership. I'm not here to control anybody. I'm here to support, give a helping hand to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and of course, work with the people that he has set in authority to make sure that things work. But when the people he has set in authority becomes the ones who are the suspects, then of course we cannot work with them. And they have given room for people like Simon Ekpa, the criminal in Finland, and other people to thrive in their business, in thieving business. And that brings me to the issue of today. On social media, I was just shocked this morning. I saw a particular tweet and saying that he was telling the people that he has taken over the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Remember, there was one time 2 years ago in 2022 when he made statements regarding that. Regarding that if the lawyers, if they feel that they don't have funds to do that, and they should meet them, approach them, and all of that. And over time, when he started having issues, he did that. Then he said that then the way he said it, because then he hadn't had a loggerhead with with an Ejiofor. They were still rapping and this other relationship, and so he was making it. He just came up. He said if they have issues of payment for his legal stuff, his legal fees, and all of that, legal procedures and legal activities, they should contact him. That they would, from the monies people are contributing, they're going to take. He knows they will not contact him because the money is not even enough for him to steal. He wants to keep stealing here in Azuka. And he knows that this is not going to, nobody's going to contact him. But he had to make that to draw the minds of the people and to make those who support him and those who follow him to be excited and say, wow, this is a good guy. Not knowing that he was plotting, carrying out so many activities, doing lots of things to actually carry out a coup against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Look at it obviously what is happening today. Every of his activity is tantamount and evident of coup against the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. And he went to the extreme by calling the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra a criminal by saying that IPOB is a criminal organization and can no more exist. Whereas Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the detention, is in the dungeon, is restricted, is kept in the DSS confinement because he is the leader of IPOB. And he has not said, he has not submitted any documents to the courts saying that he has banned IPOB, that he has discovered that IPOB is a criminal organization and so he is banning IPOB. He has not made any submissions to that effect. He has not said he is no more the leader of IPOB. He still stands and gives his submissions and his counter affidavit to the court on the name of IPOB. He still does everything he is doing. He still relates and talks about IPOB and relates to everybody, including the justice I'm sorry, the court system, because it's not justice. What they have in that contraption is not justice. So the court procedures and all of that, and the court dictates. He keeps the narrative that he is the leader of IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra. So with that fact alone proves that he is still standing strong on the template he has or he has set and laid for IPOB. He's still running on the program that IPOB represents, and it is on that program, under the auspices of that program, that he's indicted. He's trying to make everybody understand that IPOB is still formidable, and that's why I'm still in the dungeon. But here now, someone comes and says he is no more, he is banning what he didn't create. And it's laughable, anyways. It's a joke. It's a joke, anyways. It's a very expensive joke, but we know that we're just trying to take it as a joke, but we know that he has actually committed treason and betrayal, and he would pay dearly for it. Now, I want to take you to the fact here. Let me make the conclusion for that particular narrative so that I can go into today's talk, the issue of the takeover of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's court case and also the issue of the oil pipeline claimed to be blown up right now. The conclusion here in that issue of what made Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and what made them kidnap him so desperately, the issue here is that he was ready to establish the Biafra army. And once that army is established, he had told them that it will secure the land immediately. And so they are afraid. If he could keep his promise about ESN and ESN is doing a great job, then what else can't he do? And then they went as far as and did what they did. Now let me bring the issue of the court and the court of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Of course, Aloy Jimako has posted that on the 28th of this month or so, is it 26th or 28th? I can't remember. That the court will be sitting, the High Court will be hearing the case again. And we are still praying unto Chukwukike because we know that as at this time, there's nothing on ground by anybody for the sake of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There's nothing on ground. There's everybody, those who are genuine and sincere, they are limited. There's a limit they can go. Because for us to do anything, we must come together. And since people are not thinking of coming together as we should come together on the template or the platform of truth, then we'll continue to be standing as a single stick of broom that can be broken. If someone picks a stick of broom now, you can break it. But when you bring the bunch together, you can't break it. When it's you can break it. When you bend it, you can break it. But when you take a stick, you break it. So if I'm standing on the path of truth, you are standing on the path of truth, and I decide to stand on my own, you stand on your own, we cannot go far. There's a limit to what we can do. But when we come together, we can't be broken like the bunch of broom, the bunch of the broom, the broomsticks, the bunch of it. We can't we can't be broken. That is why we're talking about us coming together, those of us who are on the path of truth, coming together to do what we need to do and to work together. We need to come together. Very, very important. Very, very, very important. Now let's go to the issue of the courts. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the courts right now. I mean, in the his case is in the courts, and it's going to be holding whether on the 28th or 26th of this month, February 2023, 24. Sorry. And suddenly today, the criminal who has been claiming that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not released in the next court case for the past 2 years, he has been doing all those shoutings. If they don't do this, he's going to do that, and nothing gets done. Now he has come again to excite his followers as he always entertained them with stories, and information, you know. And he said something today that he wants to break in news. He's announcing to the people that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case has been taken over by him. Now let me go to the message because I want to read it the way, or let me read it verbatim. That's the way it is here. Now, let me not go this way. So let me go to his platform on X where he posted that because it is good and important that I actually say it the way it is, and so you don't think that I am making it up. For those of you who have not seen it, you can understand this. So you can understand this. Now, let me go to his platform and read this information to you, so that you can be conversant with his direct words and how he puts them and claims. He puts them in a way, that would appeal to his followers and at the same time look as if it is official. And then he also, you know, um, he doesn't. The interesting thing now is that he doesn't he doesn't care anymore whatever anybody feels. He just posts anything he wants to post and does what he wants to do because he knows that his followers are actually brain dead, and they would always, these followers are brain dead, and they would always, whether true or not, they are going to follow whatever he said. Look at what he said here. He said the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, not the Biafra nation. He's criminals in exile, so he's the Prime Minister of those criminals he has on social media. Has just announced the government's takeover of the Biafra leaders' legal responsibilities, including the activities of his legal counsel. This came after a meeting with the legal counsel today. The Prime Minister made it clear that the ongoing Biafra liberation taking over the Biafra leaders' legal responsibilities are two different issues. In his remarks, the Prime Minister stated that the Prime Minister stated that the Biafra government will continue in his remarks. Now, he is the one giving you an information. He is the one also telling you, making the information sound like he's reporting in a particular media platform. That means somebody is reporting on his behalf. He said the Prime Minister of Biafra has just announced that he's posting it. He's the one who typed it, and he's the one reporting this and making it look like it is the administration. So, anyways, let's just believe that it is his administration, which, of course, we know that they don't have an administration. He is the one fronting the whole narrative of what they do. He is the one who makes decisions. He is the one who, comes up with, who has everything he's doing in his head. What the advisory board does now and what they do now is that whatever he comes up with, they take it up and look for monies. And then whenever they have an idea, they sell to him too. There's no clear cut understanding of what is going on. Now he is telling you here now that he's taking over the case and everything that has to do with legal activities and fees and all of that, legal and all of that, and that he has had meeting with Aloy Jimako and co. And there is no formal written letter to that effect from the legal counsel, Aloy Jimako, and those who are in charge. There is no formal written document to show this, and he didn't present a formal written document signed by the legal counsel. We are talking about legal matters here, legal representation for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Remember, this is a legal case and it is officially written and ongoing. If there's going to be a transfer of legal, responsibility or taking over of a case, there is supposed to be a formal written document explicitly, sorry, and very comprehensive, having the information of what is being done by the new people taking over. There's no document. He comes on Twitter, types something, and tells you administrative takeover. I mean, the administration of um, you know, the administration of his government in exile. Now, is it that we don't? Is it that we are so callous, or children, even children, will not play this kind of rough play? Some of you cannot ask questions. How can you transfer a case to another legal, you know, you know, another legal company or a legal, group, or transfer the case to another lawyer or something, and there is no formal documentation that is put out there to the public to this effect? Now you are saying you're taking over the case. That means you're going to bring your own lawyers in because you don't trust the one that is there. Because you don't work with the ones that is there. You are not in good terms with the Ejimako and others. That means you are taking over. Now you say you are taking over. You don't have a document signed by Ejimako and Co. and said they have hands off. Now putting the name of the new people who are in charge and taking over. And the morons that are following you, the e-frogs and all the people following you, are jubilating on social media. You see, that is why he called them illiterates and idiotic, because they don't query things professionally. Someone tells you that they have taken a, we're talking about legal matters. This is a professional job. Anything legal is professional. If you're going to take over, there must be a professional process to it. There's going to be a documentation, legal transfer of case to another lawyer or another group to take over. There must be the documents present. And when you want to present it to the public, knowing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a public person and represents the people of Biafra, you're going to present a document to that effect. No document, nothing presented. You just type on social media and people are jubilating. That is why he calls you people morons and idiotic. That's why he called you idiotic, because you will jubilate over anything. You don't query them professionally and intellectually. How can you tell me that there's a legal transfer? And there's, in fact, I wanted to even ask Aloy Jimako if that is true, but I just it escaped my mind. It came into my mind. I've forgotten. But anyways, but I know it's not true, because if it is true, he would have posted it. Aloy Jimako is a professional. He would have posted it online, to say that yes, he would have posted a letter to that effect. Anything he does, look at it. Look at the case that of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu coming up. He has posted a document online telling us that this is what is happening now. It has been agreed and the court case is coming up, signed already, and he showed it. That means if there's going to be another lawyer or someone taking over, it's going to be spelled out. The document to come out. This case coming up now, we are not going to be the ones handling it anymore. Our lawyer would have said that. Another set of lawyers, another group is taking over, and this is the document to that effect. So we have hand stuff. Nothing to that effect, nothing. And this, you see, when someone is telling lies, these lies will keep pushing you to do more, commit more blunder, to help the people following you or believing in you to have clue to your evil and to your lies. But the truth here is that his followers, when they see it, if you check their responses to whatever, whenever he posts all these lying messages, you'll see that they will now try to, their messages does not go directly on some of them who have some level of ability to look at something somehow, even if they don't reason. They tend to give a kind of very flimsy response to him, to still say that in spite of whatever we know that this is a lie, but we are still going to respond to you, and you are still our man. They give such kinds of explanation, and then that is when you know that yes, some of them will just go straight to congratulate. Now, this is a professional job. This is a legal matter. When you want to transfer a case to, I have been involved in legal matters. I have a case that I've been involved. I have had case about 3 cases or so that I have utilized lawyers and all of that for years. So I know how it works. If you want to change lawyer, if you want to have another group take over, there are processes to this things. It doesn't happen suddenly. And if it happens, then it simply means that there have been a particular agreement at the background, documented and written, and then you can post it out there to the public. So if a lawyer has come today to post what the next court case, and he didn't post a document of transfer of legal responsibility and all of that to another group or another lawyer, then you should know that it's a lie. And then you can imagine that this guy in Finland keeps exposing himself, but his followers, because they are under a huge spell. Remember, that's juju man that they told you they have lots of juju men working for them. So you are under a spell. You can never understand. You will keep following them and doing what you're doing with them. That's what you keep doing. You keep doing it. You keep following them. They will tell you anything and you will believe. Now, the second point I'm going to raise here is you say you have taken over the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case under the auspices of IPOB and as the leader of IPOB. And you are saying that IPOB is a criminal group, that anybody operating under the name IPOB is a criminal, and that the IPOB has been cancelled. IPOB has been disbanded. IPOB no more exists. Anybody operating in that name is a criminal. And you are taking over a case of the leader of IPOB, and the documents that you are claiming, of course, you are claiming taking over the case, which means that every document that you are going to have will be on the name IPOB. What does that mean to any of you? It simply means that you are representing a criminal organization you said has been banned. That means the documents, oh my God, people should understand. The document spells of IPOB. The person who is incarcerated is the leader of IPOB. You claim that IPOB has been banned. You claim that anybody operating on the name IPOB is a criminal, which means that the leader of IPOB is also a criminal, and which means that if you are going to operate on, going to be his legal counsel, you are also being a legal counsel to a criminal. That's what it means. So if you claim that IPOB is a criminal organization, anybody operating on with IPOB is a criminal, then how come you are the one defending that same IPOB in court? Is anybody reasoning at all? Or is it that we just have brains, we don't know how to engage them? Of course, our people have brains, they don't know how to engage their brains. If you claim that IPOB has been banned, IPOB no more exists, anybody operating under that name, IPOB is a criminal. You are simply saying that the person who is in court under that name, IPOB, is also a criminal. There are no two ways about it. And now you're claiming that you are taking up the case of the person whom you have already tagged as a criminal based on the fact that the person is the leader of the IPOB you have banned and you have said is no more existent. And you're going to be representing that person whom you are calling a criminal now, who is the leader of IPOB, you claim you have banned and a criminal organization. And you are going to be representing that organization and representing the leader in the courts. And the name that is on the document is IPOB. How do you want to defend it? Because you said that IPOB is a criminal group. That anybody operating as IPOB is a criminal. Anybody, you said anybody, you didn't say some people. You said anybody operating under that name, IPOB is a criminal. So how do you want to represent the group you have called criminal group? How are you representing the group? How are you representing the group you call a criminal group? How? How are you representing the group? I don't know how. Please, somebody tell me how. Tell me how. This is very, very laughable. And this is very, very unfortunate. And what makes it unfortunate is that it is not because someone will not be criminal. There must be someone who will be criminal, in a world of evil. So Simon is permitted to be criminal, and of which he will be dealt with when the time comes. But the surprise is when people who claim to be normal and sane and want a good society, claiming that they want to have a system that would be just, free, fair, truthful, transparency, a nation of truth, a nation built on the principles of Mazi, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have laid down, and they are supporting, jubilating, clapping their hands, and promoting. Some of them are sharing to groups and other places the criminal statement of a takeover that does not exist. How do you want to represent a group you have already said is a criminal group? Because the leader of the group, you already tagged the criminal. Because if he started the group, he registered the group as the leader, and you are saying that that group, anybody operating in that group under the name of that group, is a criminal. You are already saying that the person in jail because of that group is also a criminal. And you're saying that that group itself, used anywhere, is a criminal group. And you are now claiming that you have now taken over the case of a criminal group. How about? Don't we reason? Don't we reason? Don't we reason? They have told their people not to be listening to, my broadcast, because you can't listen to my broadcast and not reason. It's not possible. I am a very huge threat to them. Definitely, some people will still peek into it. Some people will still get the message. The, Sometimes you see few watchers and few viewers later and all that. Always few, but I keep stating them because I will leave them on the internet. The time will come. People must look at them. How can you represent someone and a group you have said is a criminal group, and you have said everybody operating under that name IPOB is a criminal? Now you are claiming that you have taken over the case of the person who is the leader and composer or creator of that group IPOB, whom you now say you have banned, and that anybody operating under that name is a criminal. You are now claiming that you have taken over the case. So what are you going to tell the courts? Are you going to tell them that the IPOB you said you banned is different from the one that you are representing in court? Or is it that, why can't you guys engage your brains? I've told your people not to watch my broadcast, but they will still see this message. The thing will be on the internet. One day you will come and you will watch it. You must watch it. How? I don't know how people reason. I don't know how our people reason. First, you said IPOB is a criminal organization. Now you said you are taking over the case that the organization you call a criminal organization is being sued for being criminal, as you call it. So what does that mean? That means you're of double standards. Where do you stand? You are a criminal. That's what it means. You are the one who is the criminal. That's what it means. Because obviously you have shown that you are not reliable, that you are a liar. And I've told you guys what lie means. Lie means anything that is not true. That's not real. Because if you say there is a dog there, it will bite you, and someone goes there and don't see a dog, it's not real. What's happened? It's a lie. So the thing is not actually there. You say this thing is red and it's white, that means it's not real because there's no red here. It's white. Or if it is red or it is white, it's blue or and all that, and you call it something else. Now, I want you guys to see the seriousness of this matter and understand the details of how your minds have been toyed with, how you are being messed up, how you are being, lied to, how you are being taken for granted. And you should understand that you are the only one strengthening this guy to take you for granted and call you idiots. Because he would sit down and reminisce over everything, and he will wonder, I didn't know these people are so gullible. He'll say to himself, I didn't know that Biafrans are so gullible. Just tell them anything, excite them, shout, scream, claim to be Odogu and a powerful man. They would follow you. They will give you their money. They will give you everything. Their brains will stop working. They would give you anything you need. That's what he discovered. And he has come to realize that our people are just blind followers. That's why we are here, because we need to keep enlightening you and reminding you of the state of your mental health. Because some of you are depreciated, you are deranged, the level of your reasoning. You are deranged mentally. You need to come out of this slumber, come out of this mess, come out of this mess, come out of this mess. The second thing that is so shocking, not because of the activities of this criminal yet, but because of the activities and the response of the people who keep him. That is what shocks me, not the criminal, because he's wired to be criminal. Everything he's going to do as a criminal is just to promote his criminality and get to steal more from you. And the only thing is that when he displays his criminality, it is left for you to see it and know that this is criminal and avoid him. But when you don't avoid him, when you don't, see it, then it simply means that something is wrong, and it's shocking. Especially when you begin to wonder that people that you thought have sense are the ones falling for this. He said that they have blown up the oil pipeline, and he said video coming soon. And then after a while, he posted a video. I was anxious to see the video because, in the first place, oil pipeline and the location of oil pipeline cannot be covered closely. You can't go and blow oil pipeline because oil pipelines are guided. There are people who are guiding those pipelines. So if you're going to blow it, it's a quick action. You just do it and take off. The only way you can cover it very well is from whether you have a drone, or and that drone is not seen by the enemies or the people who are heavily armed, can blow down any drone. Or maybe you have a satellite in space that can capture the oil, sites, the sites. Maybe you have that stuff. That means you have the facilities and the materials to actually take the evident live action of what you just carried out. It's just like when US blows up anywhere in Gaza, they can give you a footage of it, captured from the skies or from anywhere with their drones or with their satellite from space. Just like what CNN also did during that lucky time, that lucky um, tollgate killing, of 2020 October, you know, and they got the footage from the satellite in space. So you don't get footage by going too close to the fire. This is oil, remember, which means it is explosive. That means you can't even come close because the heat and the explosions that will come after one explosion to the other explosion. You can't find somebody around and using his phone telling you that he has blown up an oil pipeline and he's using his phone capturing the thing close range. He's not afraid whether there's going to, because once the oil pipeline is blown, you're going to have security agencies surround that area. And the person who is capturing this was there, just his video capturing. And if you look at the scene that is being captured, it's like a bush setting where some people, two or friends also have gone into the bush, captured an antelope or captured a wee or some also, or bush, or any bush meat, you know, and they just begin to roast it. That fire looks like where antelope is being roasted, or goats, or any bush animal is being roasted for to be eaten. And when I went to the comment section, I saw how people were saying, "Wow, great, more." And I saw some who were just trying to pay. They know it doesn't look real. One actually, out of the frustration, said, "We need a bigger fire. We need a bigger stuff." Now you can imagine that video from the criminal in Finland is actually an insult on his followers. What does it tell you? It approves and confirms his position when he called them idiotic and morons and illiterates. Because nobody can post that kind of you telling you that this is an explosion on an oil pipeline, and you will take it and believe. Even a child will look at it and say, "This doesn't look like an oil site." You see a place burning, and then you see where they linked the fire to one extent, and then one side is just burned, as if you have put a bush meat that you caught, an antelope, on a stick, and you are burning it to, to burn up the body and keep it in form for you guys to eat in the bush. And who captures an oil pipeline burning, an explosive end, an area that is very dangerous? You just stand there using your phone and you're capturing, and you're just moving as if you are just going around a fire camp. What professionals do, what you do in this regard, is that you capture that scene, whether from space or with a drone that is hidden. And when people see it, you see when you blow up an oil pipeline, you know the kind of fire. You have seen where people got burnt by, or just oil tanker, just an oil tanker explosion. You see the kind of fire that comes out. Just an oil tanker. You see the kind of fire that comes out. Massive fire. And somebody told you that he has just blown an oil pipeline. And you see somebody standing by the side of one fire somewhere as if he's roasting antelope, and he's capturing it, and he comes to post it on social media. That means he feels that you are a moron. He believes you cannot reason. If you see that kind of thing, you will believe oil pipeline blown up. What is wrong with all of you? And you are jubilating and celebrating. This is disturbing. It's funny because that's why I'm smiling, but it's disturbing because he actually has taken you people for granted, especially his followers. He has taken you guys for granted to the point that he can just post anything, and he knows that you will not argue. You will just believe it. He knows that, and he's making us a laughing stock all over the world. Now the world knows that we don't reason, that we are easily deceived. We are easily deceived. So they will keep funding him to deceive you. The world now knows that we're easily deceived. How can somebody post that kind of thing on social media and tell you that this is fire from oil pipeline, when you know that when an oil tanker explodes, carrying PMS or carrying AGO or carrying gas or anything explodes, you know the kind of fire that will come out. In that area alone, houses will get burnt, people will be roasted, and somebody tells you he blew up an oil pipeline, and he's showing you. And anytime an oil pipeline gets blown up, the security agents will go around that territory. They will secure that territory to make sure that the person who does it doesn't escape. And here we are. They say they blew up oil pipeline, and they were standing there filming it with phone camera. With phone camera, you are filming oil pipeline, not afraid that you will be encircled. Where does that happen? I please, is somebody thinking? I want to see. If what I'm saying doesn't make sense to you, just write something. Don't come and write nonsense, because it only takes morons to see this and not ask questions. That's an oil pipeline. Do you know what it means for oil pipeline to go to blow or to get bombed? Do you know what it means? And why is it that you guys are not even seeing that you are just being messed up on the level of your mind? He is taking you guys for granted. He's actually confirming what he said about you, that you are a moron, you're an idiot, and an illiterate. He's confirming that by saying to himself, I can post any video, post anything, and they'll believe. And I ain't going to let anybody insult me that way. I honestly, I ain't going to let anybody. It's just like when they were talking about the currency thing. It was an insult for me to see Simon's face on the currency, see Azuka's face on currency. It's an insult on Biafra. That is why I stood up. I said no. It's an insult to see my face when they were trying to bribe me with, okay, your face also can be on the coin. It's an insult. I said no. We are not qualified. I stood to that because there are some things that will happen. You will say it's an insult on the people and on you. And they gave you that video telling you that this video is an oil pipeline that was blown up. You attack an oil pipeline, of course you use explosives, and that kind of fire is what you saw. And somebody was just walking around as if it's a bushfire. They are roasting antelope somewhere, trying to eat bush meat. And some of you are saying congratulations. I saw one person say, "Give us a bigger fire." That alone should make you tell this guy, man, you are taking us for granted. And some of you swallow insults like that because you have low self-esteem. You will think, if I insult him now, it's better to follow the crowd. If you can't beat them, you join them. If I insult him now, I'll not be in his good books again. Everybody will start attacking me. Don't you see people attacking me everywhere? Don't you see that my viewers have dropped? People who watch me have dropped. People who watch my videos even after have dropped. People who respond to my messages have dropped. It doesn't bother me because the most thing is that I spill the truth and I say the truth and I unleash the truth. Please, if you are just coming in, watch this video from the beginning. You will see the analysis I gave about the issue um, the issue of the lawyers. He has taken over the case, and now you will see the analysis I gave. Legal matters are professional matters. If there's going to be an exchange, you must present a professional document. It must be written. Aloy Jumakenko will sign. It has been transferred to another group to take over. That's how it's been done. It's a professional business. You don't just come on social media, type anything on phone. Don't take us for granted, for God's sake. And all of you are falling for all of these things. You people are the ones making me angry. It's not the criminal because you give room before anybody plays you 419. I blame those who are being manipulated and deceived that fall, not the people who are coming to deceive. Of course, they deserve punishment, but you that fell for it, how? How can you fall for such cheap things? Number two, you said IPOB is a criminal organization. Anybody who is operating with the name IPOB is a criminal. How come you want to represent? You are the one now taking over the case of IPOB because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S case is written under IPOB. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is held because it's IPOB. So what are you going to tell the courts? That you are representing IPOB, that is a criminal organization, that you have already tagged the criminal organization? Or is there any other IPOB that's different from the one you are claiming that you have now taken over? So what would you prove to the court? You have already, with your mouth, said that this is a criminal group, that anybody working with that group is a criminal. So if you go to court, what are you going to present? You're going to tell the court, oh, that statement was for social media. I actually was making it for social media. They are not criminals. That's why I've come to represent IPOB, because the case is against IPOB and against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB. So what that just now, is it that you guys don't reason? Or your brain is just there for 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 ants to eat after you are dead, or maggots to take over? I've analyzed this thing. Later you listen from the beginning, you'll get this information. And if you can cut it and send to people to reason, because the fact is that most of our people have low self-esteem. If you can't beat them, you join. Oh, I don't want to talk now. They will now say I am fighting against Simon. Oh, I don't want you stand out. Don't behave like a coward like people like Rafa Jere. Don't behave like that. Rafa Jere that went back to his vomit. You stand. How many people are watching me these days? Few. I don't care. You know why? I will publish the truth on social media. With years and time, people will listen to it. You said IPOB is a criminal organization. Now you are saying that you are taking over the case of a criminal organization. Are you normal? You said you blow up oil pipeline. You are giving us a video. Somebody standing there, not caring whether security agencies have taken over that territory. You are holding camera, showing us a bushfire where it's like they are roasting antelope. They went to farm. They went to bush hunting and they got antelope and they are roasting it. Do you know what it means for you to blow up oil pipeline? Do you know what it means? And you are standing there and showing us one small fire. Do you know what it means for just oil tanker, just one tanker to blow on highway? That vicinity to almost 500 meters away or so will feel the effect. That's why they always want to build fuel stations away from residential areas or from areas that if there's a fire or disaster, it's going to affect other people. And someone comes to show you a particular video and you are writing congratulations, more of this, we are going somewhere. BIAFRA is our this, we are doing this and we are doing that. Don't you is it that you guys are just your brains are just there for maggots to eat after you die? You don't know how to criticize things. You're not analytical. Your brains are just stational, dormant, docile, and deranged. because I can't understand that somebody tells you that he has taken over a case, there's no legal documentation to prove, he comes to type something on social media, and you are jubilating. And Aloy Jimako, who is a professional, you will see him. If it was true, he would have typed this whole thing on a letter. They would have typed it, they would have signed it. He will post it to you and said, this case has been transferred to another legal department and group, sorry, in another legal company, and all of that. Allah is a professional. He would have done that. Or and today he posted that the case is coming up on the 28th of February. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S case. You have posted that the legal team taking over is this case, is this legal team, that they are no more taking over. Because the criminal in Finland cannot be sponsoring Adlo Ejimako and Ejiofor that he is a loggerheads with. He cannot be sponsoring them. So it means that if he has taken over the case would have been given to another set of lawyers. And the same lawyer, Adlo Ejimako, is still posting that the case is coming up on the 28th or 26th or so, I can remember now, of this month, February. And you know, I said it earlier when I started. I said, whenever people are on the path of lies and criminality, they will keep giving you clues for you to see and understand that they are criminals and liars. But the problem is that if you are not discerning enough and you are not smart and you are of low self-esteem, you would keep ignoring the signs. You'll keep ignoring the signs. Majority of Biafrans today are of low self-esteem. Slavery has dazed your mentality. Slavery has cost you people so much brain damage that you think that if you go against Simon or any of their group members or whatever, and the group that is in charge, the group that is reigning, you will be isolated. Like some of you think I'm isolated now. There's no way. Somehow you must still listen to me. Even if it's few people, you must still listen to me. Some will listen later, even if it's not as much as before. But the truth about it is that it doesn't deter me because I don't go by majority. I go by the truth because that is what will make us free as a people. And I told you people the other time, yesterday, I said something. I said, the only people who really love Simon are people like me who come to tell him the truth. Not people like you who deceive him and see the truth and you pretend. Because if I don't love him, I'm not telling him that what you are doing is wrong. Change from it. This is not right. Oh, you are betraying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You are calling him a criminal by saying IPOB is a criminal group. That means you are telling the Nigerian government that this guy is a criminal. Jail him more. Because you can call the group he formed that group is a criminal group and he's in jail. And you can't come to people and tell them that the group that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu created, that you have the, who gave you that audacity? Who gave you that mandate? That you have the power to ban it. Are you part of the members of the board of directors? You can't ban it because you're not a member of the board of directors. As a member of the board of directors, even if you are, which we know you are not, you can't even take a unilateral decision to ban a registered group. It's not possible. There are legal processes. The board of directors will make their meetings, decide, carry out a vote, and then they will put it in writing. And then they will go through the legal processes to close the group. That's how it's been done. And then that's how groups are being done. That's how it's been banned. So, but of course, even when a group commits crime, it is still the courts that will determine if that group has committed a crime, and then they will mark the group and then retrieve their licenses. Sorry, um, withhold their license of operation. You come on social media and come and tell people that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a criminal and that the group has been banned. And some of you don't see the treason, the treasonable felony in that action. Some of you don't see the criminality in that action. Some of you don't see all of this stuff. If you're just joining, please like this program. Send it on all your social media platforms. Those who are on the path of truth, I know you're listening to me too. Some people, some e-frogs are here. I welcome you all e-frogs. Just keep doing your job as an e-frog. But I'll keep telling you the truth. You are hearing the message. As an e-frog, as you keep doing your e-frog business, which will stand as condemnation to your soul tomorrow, I will still give you the truth so that it will keep judging your conscience and killing you wherever you are. So, now, somebody tells you he has blown up oil pipeline. He brings a video and begins to show you a video, somebody holding phone. and showing one, even if my village market is burning, you don't come with camera close to the fire like that and showing it. Not to talk about oil explosion, bombing, bomb a place, and you bomb a place, and you said that that place is an oil facility, oil pipeline. Do you know what it means to blow up an oil pipeline? Do you know what it means? Do you know what it means? Eat frogs and people who don't reason. That's why he called you guys idiotic, because he would post such kind of video, he would tell you such kinds of things, you will believe because you don't reason. But that's what we have come to do, to help you to reason. And that is why we are here. We don't support criminality, we support truth, and we stand on the path of truth every time. Anytime you see this station or this platform, know that you're about to hear the truth. Truth Channel Network. That's what we represent. So, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S case is still in court. I don't know where, this thing is so funny. I don't know where someone will say that they are actually utilizing force to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And they have said several times that if the court does not do anything to this time, they are going to take action. And every time the courts keep messing up, they don't take an action. And they don't take an action. And now they are now coming to tell you that they are taking over case. You are telling us that you want to do things by force. And you're also telling us that you are taking over case. Where do you stand? You see, criminality would always not pay. Criminality will not pay. You say you are doing force, you are buying weapons, you are doing this, you are blowing this, you are bringing down Nigeria. And now you are now saying that you are now going to the same courts. See, criminals. So that wherever you stand, whether you stand for the courts, they would manipulate you. Whether you stand for force, they would keep manipulating you, making you believe that something is happening. That is what it is. And you guys are not thinking. Somebody tells you that this IPOB is a criminal group, that anybody operating under that name is a criminal, which means the leader of the group is also a criminal. That's what he's implying. He tells you all of that, and now he's now telling you that he has taken over the case of that criminal group to represent the criminal group in court. And he doesn't show you any document to that effect. And he's telling you that he wants to now defend a criminal group in court. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? And how are you going to defend the criminal group in court when you have already told the world, you have posted it on social media, telling the world that this is a criminal group? How? How are you going to defend it? That is why your brain is important. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu keeps talking about our mentality. That's why he calls us, he always says it, mad people everywhere. Because our people don't reason. Don't reason. Don't reason. But I want to make you reason today. As Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is wherever he is, we keep representing him and telling you the truth. For those of you who are just joining, go back to the beginning, get the facts the way I laid them. You get to understand this, especially from the 15th minute also, or the 10th minute, because I spoke about some things, gave you some basics of what I talked about yesterday and summed it up. And then I now went into this thing very explicitly. And I gave you explicit points that people who are reasonable should think along that line. And if you're just joining, please like this video, share on all your social media platforms, and let people get this truth. No matter how many people watch it, once the truth gets into one person, they can tell somebody else, they'll tell somebody else, they'll tell somebody else. But the truth is going far. And that is why it is very, very important that as a truth person, You continue to play your role. Don't be anyone who says if you can't beat them, you join them. Somebody was telling me that thing one time. At least everybody is supporting him. Let's just support him. That means you have low self-esteem. Don't be rough agiralized. Don't get yourself rough agiralized because he has become an epitome of criminality and cowardice. You run away, you said this is a criminal group, they're using criminal account, clone account, and then suddenly you now go back because you're not getting viewers anymore. I don't go for viewers. The time will come when this platform will be having viewers. That is how it begins. Truth starts on a balanced template. And that time, that is when you will now become ashamed, those of you who are on criminality. Because then you will know that, if I knew, I would have stood on the path of truth. Because the truth about it is that if you don't stand on the path of truth, you will still face the same consequence that the person who is lying to you and manipulating you and stealing all of the stuff from you, enjoying himself, is facing. Because along the line, you will still become a victim, his victim. You'll still regret it. Your mindset will be battered and you will be messed up, and you'll now discover how frustrated you are. You'll now plunge deeper into depression because your low self esteem is being malnourished by things that will depress your soul. Low self-esteem is the reason why people would keep supporting criminality even when obviously there are signs of criminality. Low self-esteem there is the reason why someone will keep still jubilating when there's nothing to jubilate. Jubilating over lies when they don't even see evidences. If I ask those of you jubilating now, and then as I said yesterday, someone is talking about referendum, Biafra Declaration Convention or whatever it's called, and he's planning it for the next 9 months or 10 months in November or so, and he's already planning to do it in Finland. Whereas if he is declaring that time, it means that he's preparing himself against coming to Biafra land to declare it. That means he said he has the navy, he has the air force, he has the army, which means that his army, if he has an army, it must by then have secured the territory of Biafra. That means he could enter into Biafra land without being attacked and feel protected. That's what it means. For you to want to declare Biafra, it simply means that you have an army that have taken over the territory, and you should be anticipating that before that in November, by then you would have done everything to make sure that the territory is taken, so that you would come into Biafra land to declare Biafra. And then your navy will also protect you, so that when you're coming from whether by sea, they can protect you. Your air force also will protect you. Whether come by air, they will protect you. So you can get into Biafra land and then declare the Biafra liberation. But you want to declare it in Finland. So what does that tell you? It simply means that he doesn't have control of the land. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S said the day he's going to declare it, he will be in Biafra land and he's going to lead the army. That's what it is. That is what true declaration is. Everyone who have declared their nation stood in their land to declare it. Ojukwu stood in the land and declared Biafra. This one is planning to declare it in another land where he is a refugee. Because that's what I'll call him. Because it was out of hunger, he ran out of Nigeria, the territory of Nigeria, to look for something better in Finland. And you now gave him the opportunity, started giving him money. Now he's so feeling out of the world because you are funding him and his organization. Now he is now telling you that his own organization that is standing, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S organization is illegal and a criminal organization and cannot stand anymore. That anybody fronting on that IPOB organization is a criminal. Don't you see how stupid you are? And when somebody tells you the truth, all you do is you just feel bitter about it. Whereas you should reminisce over it. Decide to stand. It is better standing alone and standing on the truth than standing with everybody and standing on lies. It is better. That is why I stood against the currency thing when they said they're going to put their faces, including when they wanted to bribe me to say that they'll put my face on coin so that I will agree. I said no, because none of us is qualified. I decided to stand alone, and they all ran away from me because they ran away from me. Because they can't stand my truthful nature or my truth stance, my stance of truth. I'll keep standing on the path of truth. Whether I'm standing alone, I'll do it. And I tell you, accountability and transparency group will come up strongly, very strongly. It might be dwindling now, because of some people who were trying to hijack it. They were trying to hijack it in lies. And we stood, somebody like me stood, and some few people stood and said, no, we can't do this on lies. That's why you see it's like, but we know that the strong people are coming together one after the other. And by the time we come out, you'll see that these people are truthful. And that is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wants. Truthful people who are going to stand on the path of truth and stand tall in spite of whoever is standing with them. And I want to encourage you, please, there's no gain in telling yourself lies. There's nothing as sensitive as your freedom, because your freedom is the fullness of your success. So when you allow anybody manipulate you in the realm of your freedom and in the context of your freedom expectation, and because of your low self-esteem, you give in to their lies so that you will feel important, you know, then something is wrong. Then that means you're not ready for the freedom. No wonder Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been struggling for years, because the preaching has not actually gotten into the nerves, into the fabric of the people's mindset, and it has not really held strong to them, and that is why some of them could easily betray him, and that is what has been happening. But I want to assure you that this time Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to meet up with people who are formidably standing on the truth. And once he comes out, it's going to be evident. And I want to tell you, be part of those people who are standing. Don't join the majority. It doesn't pay. Because when the pain comes, when the repercussion comes, you will stand alone to face it. They will stand to face it, you stand to face it. Everybody will feel their pains personally. Don't get yourself. Somebody was saying that there's nothing like repercussion. Somebody said there's nothing like so what you sow, you reap. I just laughed, and all of that. But the truth about it is that life is not just physical, but spiritual. And when it comes to spiritual things, there's always, why do you see that there's always a generational curse? Somebody can be under a curse from things that happened in the past and it continues in their lives, because there's a spiritual order that controls things. So if there's a spiritual order that controls things, it simply means that every action of man is controlled by a particular spirit. And if that spirit is false, it simply means that that spirit that accompanies that falsehood has a way of continuing the evil that goes with that falsehood at all times. All that is required is for someone to invoke it and continue to invoke it in every generation. And once you take an action in that regard of falsehood, you have invoked that evil spirit to continue to deal with you and the future generation to come in that line of falsehood. But when you go on the path of truth, you invoke the spirit of truth and it deals with you in the right pattern it should continually in your generation. That doesn't mean that you will not face circumstances and troubles and all of that, because all of those trials and circumstances are meant to make you deviate. But when you stand on the path of truth continually, you will discover that you will continue and enjoy the benefits of standing tall and standing on the path of truth. Please go back to the beginning, listen to this. If you have not ever listened to any other broadcast, go and listen to this one from the beginning. Then you will know, you'll get the facts, and it will help you reason. You just forget about whatever you feel about me or whatever the impression you have about me. Just go back, listen to the broadcast, listen to it with the heart that wants to learn, the heart that wants to know the truth. You shall know the truth. Those who seek will always find. You shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. So, but whatever truth does to those who know it and accept it, it makes them free. And whatever truth does to those who see it and get it and don't accept it, it destroys them. It puts them in bondage. So if it makes the other group free, it simply means that the other group will be in bondage. That's what it means. That's what it means. That's what it means. It is very, very important that we begin to tear down the walls of lies. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it, and I keep mentioning it. The only thing that will take us to where we should go is truth. If you continue in this path of lies, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your resources. Keep believing. Now, why would this guy tell you he's going to be proclaiming Biafra in Finland? Don't you reason? He's carrying out a particular program of referendum. No, even Finland has not even made a comment about it to say that this man in our territory, who is also a Finnish citizen, he is carrying out this. We recognize his effort, and it is good. Just say it is good. We recognize his effort and strength is good. Not even promoting it and telling you that people should go in. No, they never made any statement, including the ones he's going to hug and say, "This is my candidate for presidency. This is my prime minister. This is my this. This is my that." He wants to stand with every Finland, every Finnish politician to impress you, to raise his status. And none of them have come publicly to tell you that this self referendum is valid. Self referendum is only to collect your information. That's what he's doing. Because people have done referendum over and over and over. What do? When you finish, you just go and put it in your locker. This one now, they have collected all your information that has to do with where you're from, the village you're from, which means whenever you do anything wrong, they trace it, they go back to look at your name and say, "Oh, this guy didn't do this thing." Then they will say, "Okay, we're going to go attack your community people." So that when you attack your community people or your village or your parents or your siblings or go to your house, you will come out wherever you are because you will not want them to suffer. So they'll go and capture your people, kidnap them. When they kidnap them, you will come out. If they capture your mother, you will want to come out because you will not want your mother to suffer. You are exposing your information. Have you ever seen any reasonable person do that? I can tell you where I'm from. I'm from Imo State, from Owerri, and Ngopala. But you cannot know the precise place I'm from. I can tell you because I know most of our people are killers and deadly and evil. And I can't be that stupid. So if you are so stupid to give your information to Simon because you claim you trust him, then you are done for. The day you are going to discover that he has been stealing from you and he's a criminal and you oppose him, they will trace you with your details. The day you come to be speaking the way I'm speaking now and to stand tall for the truth, they will trace you with your details. If you are not there, they will capture your mother or your father or one of your siblings, and definitely you must show up. People don't know the dangers, the implication of it. You just do things without reasoning, without thinking. You say you're doing self-referendum. What does this? If he finishes now, what would he do? He would just keep it in his locker. Biafrans have spoken. That's what he would say, and then tell you for on the auspices of this particular stuff we have done now, we are going to be declaring Biafra. Does it make sense to you? Does he need to carry all your information before he declares Biafra? If you want to declare, you declare. Because the truth about it is that referendum should be, you know, effective in the sense that you have to have allies agree with you, and you conduct it in an atmosphere on ground, not on social media. People will come on ground. You have a spot where people will come because now you have taken control of your territory. They come there and vote, and they vote. And then when you do that, you have already conquered the enemy. Then before you do that, but whenever you are trying to get it on social media, and then you want to use that now to declare, then how then do you prove that you have conquered your territory? Because it is not by your collecting details on social media and then going to declare in Finland that gives you the Biafra. That is only an exercise just to excite people, just to make them feel excited. You just want to excite and impress your followers so that they will keep contributing. At least you have another 9 months of collecting monies from them. At least you just feel that I need to prolong my period of collecting money. So let me keep them busy. And when I keep them busy, every Saturday I'll be raising funds and they will be contributing. That's what is happening. And some of you are falling for it. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong, but God will help you guys anyways. This is Truth Channel Network, and I want to thank you guys for watching. It's been already 1 hour plus. I thought I was not going to go this far, but I've gone. I want to thank you guys for watching, for being here, and of course, listening to this broadcast. Please, if you are just joining, like this video, share on all your social media platforms. If you have been skipping my videos, this one, don't skip it. Go to the beginning. Listen to it. You will see the details, the facts I've laid out here. Very, very formidable facts. And that is your means of argument and doing what you have to do. That is your means of argument. So please go do that. I want to appreciate you guys and every of the truth followers, those who are loving the truth. You can see behind me, you see Truth Channel Network. That's what we are. Because truth, people can say Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. We don't know what Biafra means to them. But when you say truth, you know what truth means. Truth is truth. And the kind of Biafra we talk about is what this truth stands for. So that's why we made it Truth Channel Network. We decided to take away that Biafra because if we put Biafra, it represents both the criminals who are using it to steal. But when we put truth, it represents the Biafra Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S is talking about. So Truth Channel, where we bring people together who are on the path of truth. That's what is called network. This is the channel where we network for truth. I want to appreciate you guys for the e-frogs. Thank you for being here too. For the liars and those who are deceiving themselves, lying to themselves. Thank you for being here too. I appreciate you guys. It's good to have, after all, if they call if they call for black sheep to come, a black sheep who represents those who are black sheep in the midst of the white sheep. Who? You need one person to be black so that you can represent the black. So of course we'll always have the black sheep around, and they'll continue to, you know, represent themselves and do carry out their criminality. So I want to thank you guys. So those ones who are standing on the path of truth, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to it and make sure that you keep spreading the gospel of and the narrative of truth so people can listen to it all over the nations of the world. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. See you again tomorrow. And God bless you, Rego. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, your night, or your morning, or whatever, your time zone and your location. Thank you. And God bless you, Rego. And please, before I go, don't forget to pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Very, very important. Keep praying for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is important we keep praying for him. And that is what I want to tell you guys right now. So please pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Very, very important. He is the leader. IPOB is not destroyed, and all of that. And IPOB is still strong. Pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. God bless you, Rigo.